What is up, everybody? Today we're talking Kathy Griffin, Trump backlash, and Underground's cancellation, and a lot more on Black Hollywood Lives this week.
You are tuned in to Black Hollywood Live this week.
We are going to be dancing to our own song because it's not playing, but it's all good. Hey!
Why are you depressed? What happened?
Hey! What's up, everybody? Welcome to Black Hollywood Lives this week.
Wait, why is she depressed? What were you guys talking about? What happened? What couple?
We'll talk about it as we get in the show, I guess, because we're talking about it underground.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what it was. All right,
I was confused.
We got Courtney Stewart who's depressed, apparently.
I was like, go with it.
You know what? We're going to go with it today. Sorry, guys.
Sorry. What's up, y'all? Hey.
DJ Jesse J.
What's up?
And we have some fun stuff we're talking about today, even though Courtney is not singing this yet.
No, because you gave me some information right before we went on air, and I was like,
and then I caught the end of that, so I didn't know if it was like a whole opposite thing. I was like, ooh, since it's a hot mess at the beginning, let's just roll with it.
Let's just roll with it. Yeah, this is the first time I think in a long time that we haven't had music at the beginning.
I don't know what happened. I felt horrible, guys. I'm like literally, because, I'll take the blame if I messed up. And what the heck happened? Should I try it again?
No, shout out to Ronnie in the booth. We love Ronnie.
It's all right.
It's like I saw the
You
image.
can randomly play it when we're like doing something.
Okay, I'll follow your lead.
Yeah.
When you do
Yeah.
August
Yeah.
Alsina, we'll make something happen.
Okay.
No, when we talk about Nas.
There you go.
But you could throw a little August on when we do, though.
We got surprises. Go ahead.
But let's talk about it.
All right.
The BET Awards
I'm
2017.
excited about
You
it.
talked about it last week. Leslie Jones is going to be hosting. But really excited because, okay, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to keep it real. Look at me. I was going to bullshit you guys. I actually am not excited about the performers this year. I think that they're kind of low-key whack.
Oh,
Here's my thing.
Whack.
Well, not whack. I mean, it's like Migos, Future.
Migos is fun.
And Future gives a good show.
I ain't never seen the Future show, so I don't even know.
He gives a good show.
He does, because I can't go to a concert of his, but like when he does like a performance,
Yeah,
it's lit.
Yeah.
Migos, I'm over them and their homosexual, their being homophobia. Like,
Okay, I was like, you about to reveal some tea about them?
What do you know?
that probably is the tea, but Tamar Braxton's gonna be performing.
Performing what? Does she have a new album?
I think she got a new
I think
something.
she's got a new single or something coming out.
Yeah, no, I think she has a new
Or it just
single
came
out.
Yeah.
Was it you that we went to?
When she had the eyes.
Wait, we went, right?
Honey, yes.
Did you come to that?
What?
When we went downtown to the Orpheum?
BT Gospel.
Oh,
or
the BT
something.
Gospel a couple years back.
Yeah, it was
actually, that's why I gave her props, because she sounded really good.
Well, we all know she got a voice.
Yeah.
But I mean, she took it to like.
But it was like the eye. Remember the eye?
But that's every performance she's done. Because even when she did
she just
the
got a
Soul
heavy
Train
eye?
Awards, because I got a meme that she had a gold dress on and a short blonde wig, and her eyes was like, we were like, what are you doing, girl? What are you doing?
Where it took like 30 minutes to set up the candles all on stage. Like, bitch, you ain't Beyonce.
Yes.
So Tamar Braxton, Trey Songz, which again, I'm just like.
Nobody. I don't even know a Trey Songz song.
What year is this? So
I started watching Trey Songz when he did the Prince tribute, and he's saying, I want to say it was Purple Rain or something.
I don't even remember.
And the way Prince was looking at him, and then I was just disappointed in that performance, so I can't even watch it.
I used to love me some Trey. I'm not gonna lie.
I was never a fan of Trey Songz.
Oh, I was, until like I found out how much of a man-ho he was, and I was like, ugh. Like, I feel like when you say Trey, like, you ever seen that when you say Trey Songz's name 3 times, you might catch gonorrhea?
Ooh,
Wow.
dang. It's like that, yeah?
And for some girls, you may catch a baby. Bruno Mars is going to be perforing, which I'm always...
I'm liking that, though, that he's on the BET Awards.
He does a good show.
But this is the thing.
Uh-oh.
I love Bruno Mars. Like, Bruno Mars can do no wrong. However, I'm just kind of like, he's literally been performing at every award show.
Yes, he has.
He's like icon status. And I get, you know what I'm saying? I get it. But I'd like him to take a little Beyonce moment, too, and just kind of dip a little bit back, do it, keep your tour going, and, you know, to all this, but like, don't be Beyonce.
But if he stepped back from the BET Awards when he still got
a big record,
now he's
got
like,
it'd be a
True.
good look. Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm excited though either way to see the show because you know what I mean whether we like them or not, there's always something entertaining going to happen.
And plus, you know, they always do their special secret performances that they always bring out of somebody they don't reveal.
Well, and I'm wondering if Beyonce's actually going to show up this year because she is the most nominated this year. So will she? Will she perform? Will we get a performance?
Has she had them babies? Like what's
Wait, when
going
did she
on? Nobody knows.
Nobody, yeah.
Nobody really knows.
But word is they were scoping out the hospital for weeks now, so she probably had a planned C-section.
I wonder who they're gonna tribute this year. They haven't announced that yet. That'll be interesting. But Jamie Foxx, Queen Latifah, Jada Pinkett Smith, and Trevor Noah, Issa Rae, Robin Thede, and others will be presenting as well. But speaking of Jada Pinkett Smith, she did an interview with R&B star August Alsina, and I wanted to talk about this because I just think. One thing I've really appreciated of him is his vocalness with depression and his sickness. I mean, so basically, he came out to talk to. I didn't know how close he was with Jada Pinkett Smith.
I thought it was so random. I was like, wait, what?
And there's like rumors that they're like they adopted him. Like I think it's a total rumor, but it's like they're that close that they meet up. So he posted this interview where he sat and talked to Jada. And talked about how in his family, his father and grandfather have a liver disease, which he has, and he never spoke about it and how it would affect him because he had eye surgery as well. Shout out to Monique Green watching us. We love you, Mo. You can call me in the middle of the show, girl. You know we do this. I'm just saying that.
Every week.
Hey, girl. But the thing is so what I really liked about him is how open he is talking about it. Because one thing that I've heard, you know, through you guys and through other friends is that in the black community, talking about health is kind of a naysay. Going to see a doctor, there's a lot of, you know, stipulations with that. And even in my family, like just like the Greek immigrants, it's like I see from my father, he doesn't want to talk about it, or the older generation, they don't talk about sickness because nothing can be wrong with you. You have to be perfect at all times.
And they don't go to the doctor. It's like that whole old school way of thinking.
And he came out to say that too. He said, I never wanted to talk about it because I didn't want people worrying about me. But what I love that he's doing is having the conversation because it makes it okay. It makes it cool. It makes someone that looks like him feel comfortable enough to talk about it. And that's a man at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because we make it seem like, okay, it's okay for women to talk about their problems and their emotions. And I remember growing up, I would sit at the kitchen table with my aunts and my grandmother, and all they'd be talking about is medications. And I gotta go down to the pharmacy and get me that. Where the men, that's not a cool thing to talk about. So shout out to August Alsina for opening that door and being brave and having that conversation.
Absolutely. And finding out what was going on. Because at the end
For
of the day, I
sure.
want to know what's going on.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And he's had, I didn't realize this, but after I read the article, I didn't realize how many years of health scares he's kind of had. 2014, he had a public health scare. He collapsed during a concert. He was in a coma for 3 days. 2015, he had some major eye surgery. Like he thought he was going blind in an eye. And I'm like, man, he's got a lot of things going on.
And people always speculate like drugs and alcohol and stuff like that because you're a rock star or whatever. So it's awesome that he's like, look,
Ronnie, you better have pulled that picture up.
I am dead wrong.
Oh,
yeah.
I feel like because I messed up with the audio, I needed to like.
You just had to go and
doing some
find that
research.
in.
I'm giggling.
Research.
Back to you.
Now we
As Jocelyn Hernandez would say, beefcake.
Beefcake. Beefcake.
And that's all I got. Okay,
Yeah, and then
go
he
ahead, zoom
zooming
right
in.
on it.
The show, I can't. Y'all are
Dead wrong.
A hot mess we have a show today, but it works.
Sure did.
it's like a trend on BHL today, y'all.
Courtney, wait, is that?
That's all I got.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
That's all his
Courtney
stories.
can't even get to her topic.
I just don't even want to talk
I mean,
about
it's
it.
just like so zoomed in now and just like there, like, hey, dick.
This and well, speaking of dicks. So we have a different kind of Trump date this week, and it's in regards to Miss Kathy Griffin. So unfortunately this week, Miss Kathy Griffin got fired from CNN, y'all, because she took a nasty, gory photo where she was holding a blood-stained, beheaded President Trump mask, and it outraged everybody. She has since apologized and said she gets it. It wasn't funny. The image was gross, and it was gory, and it was offensive, and she's super, super sorry. The photographer that did it was Tyler Shields. I've yet to find what
the purpose was
they were trying to like tell or like say. But she admitted it wasn't funny, and we got it, and she makes mistakes, and she has made them before. She'll make them again, but she's sorry, and for that, she still got fired. So we will not see her with Anderson Cooper at New Year's Eve, which makes me kind of sad because I actually really like them together. Yeah. They entertain me. But a lot of people were like, you would be upset if this was, you know, Barack Obama or Trump. Everybody, it's not right. So people was mad. Was y'all mad?
I was surprised that people were so mad, to be honest with you. I mean, people are in an uproar. She's on a tour, and 5 of her shows have been canceled. The veterans of foreign wars of the U.S. have been condemning her. They're asking her to not be a part of the USO, which is the United Service Organizations, when she goes on all those like overseas to help the soldiers and the troops and entertain them, like they're asking her to be pulled
that's one I would probably say.
I mean, okay, I
I
guess I can get that, but then like saying stuff that she's a terror, she's basically acting like a terrorist by doing this. I think that's a little bit far. I mean, she's a comedian. Here's the thing: she's pushed the envelope on so many different things. Yes, do I think that this is extreme? Especially there have been soldiers that have lost their lives in this manner. I think that's why it's such a problem. It is a very, sensitive area. But on the flip side of that, it's comedy.
But it wasn't. That's the point.
That's
what
the thing.
Was funny?
Like, there's
what was the joke?
There's no context to it. Like, if I could pull anything from it, then it's like, okay, if this was this SNL skit, and at the end of the SNL skit this happened, fine, I would understand. Okay, well, there was a context, we started someplace, there was a storyline, and we got to something. This is literally like, it just seems like she just did a picture.
Or if she was dressed up like the Queen of Hearts and was like off with his head, like there was nothing that made sense, and it literally looked like what the terrorists that do those videos have an American head, like, and it was like, why we ain't trying to, like, ain't nobody celebrating that, even if I hate Trump, which I do. I don't hate him, actually. I just think he's dumb or weird.
It just sends a message. It sends a different type of message than what I think people are trying to send. Like, obviously we have protests and we've been, doing that. But to make something like this to this extreme, it's like, girl. Like,
well, they say it promotes violence. Do you think it really promotes violence, though?
You're showing a decapitated head of.
But promoting violence. I mean, yes, I agree that it's distaste. But do I think that she's a terrorist and promotes violence? I don't know.
If you put this image up to a child that does not understand that she's Kathy Griffin, and they see the president, who, growing up, you don't know the difference between Republican, Democrat at the age of 6 to 7, and you're looking at this picture and you're seeing the man that is supposed to I just like, that's where my mind goes with it. It's just like, what is it? What's the story that you're really telling?
And I get what you're saying. I guess I feel like, the reason I guess I'm so surprised, I get it on the soldiers' sense. I completely think that it is disrespectful in that sense because of what has happened to them, and that should not have happened. Or this video or this image shouldn't have been posted that way. But on the flip side, for people to be like, I'm not going to her show, and that she's a terrorist, and then for even just the fact that, like,
I'm surprised people made a big thing out of it, to be honest.
Trump. Snoop, Robert De Niro, Madonna, Charlie Sheen, they were doing a listing of like all these celebrities who've said kind of negatives,
but when you say something versus a visual image, it's very, very different, and it communicates very different in our brains. And in this case specifically, like, you straight up are doing exactly what we claim to be completely fighting against, which is why we're doing all the things that we're doing in the Middle East, because that is supposed to be unacceptable. And as much as you dislike Trump or hate him or whatever, his bloody head held up in your hand, like, that is not victory, because that's exactly what we're saying that we don't subscribe to and we don't believe in and all of that. So I don't really know why. That's why I still don't know what the point was. Like, it doesn't sit, because it's still too much in the vein of what we claim ISIS is and is doing and don't want any part of. And I don't know where the punchline was.
And then not only that, but like, think about your family, like his family have to like see a picture like this. It does raise, because think some psycho going to sit up here and like to have, as a kid, you have to see your dad's head up here like this and then think, oh, now I have to go to sleep tonight. Like, yeah,
well, that's
okay.
what they said about his son.
Yeah, that's what
the 12-year-old that's like, yo, or however old the kid is.
Like, how's he, you know, to make this like, is this a joke or is this like, it gets just.
I mean, yeah, when you start doing that,
you know,
well, a little birdie told me who works in her office at her agency that it's like an uproar there that they're saying that her career could be over because of this. Do you think so? I think she should just take a little hiatus and then let this die down.
She's always been a consistent
apologize.
Yeah. Like, but people were saying that no one accepted the apology. Like literally, the veterans are they're banning
right
the apology.
Now. Yeah. That's because it's still in the now.
A year from now, it's Kathy Griffin.
Nobody's gonna remember it.
And it seems like things changed too. I think Billy Bush now has a new show. Not that his thing was
we
severe.
Knew that was coming.
We knew that was coming.
But you know, after a while, things there'll be another program that's fitting for her.
I think she has enough of an audience has worked long enough that it'll pass. Like it's not gonna ruin her career, but. It was nasty.
It was nasty.
I mean, in the end, it was just nasty. It looked real, too. Like, it was just nasty. Girl, you could have just had to punch him in the face or something. Like, why you had to cut his head off? I don't know. Anyway, we're going to move on to the next one. Okay. Melissa Harris Perry is also causing all kinds of uproar in the community.
Yes, she is.
Yes, she is, y'all. She wrote an article for the New York Times this week. It was published this week, and it was called How to Save the NAACP from Irrelevance. And basically, she went on to sort of assess the state of the NAACP. They're in a transition period. They're moving out their old president and looking for a new one. And she basically, well, what most people took from the article, which I don't necessarily agree with, was that she was essentially bashing the NAACP and being very disrespectful and saying that they need to step aside and just be a legacy organization that we all salute and respect and whatever. Or well, that's what everybody complaining about, she said, because she told them in one portion of the article they should step aside. But what she actually said in the actual article was that you have two options. Either you should step aside and be this legacy organization that has done all this miraculous work and amazing work over the years, but right now you're not really in line with what's going on in the now. Or you become who you were when you started, which is a radical organization really willing to bleed, basically, for what change needs to occur in the community. So many people were upset, saying, how dare she say that about the NAACP? Like, the NAACP has done so much over these I think it's been around for 104 years. And she was very specific in her article. She brought up, she felt like there's only one real consistent movement that has affected change in recent years with the NAACP, and that was in North Carolina, and they have a consistent protest that was going on to help combat the voter suppression laws that were coming, and they were effective in their consistent protest or whatever, and she just feels like the NAACP has become a huge bureaucracy that has too much red tape and doesn't really get anything done and is kind of, at this point, irrelevant to smaller movements around the country, like Black Lives Matters and two other movements that she brought up. So a lot of people were offended and said, how dare you? Like, this organization means everything to our community, and how dare you say such a thing? So.
I mean, I think it's a young voice coming out to, I mean, yeah.
I mean, were people you really offended by it?
No, I think people are afraid of change, and it's something personal to some people. Who I'm assuming the people who are making these statements, and what Courtney, you're saying, it sounds like she's trying to implement positive change to make the NAACP bigger than what it already is. And so for me, anyone that's complaining against that wouldn't be doing justice to what the organization was intended to be.
Well, y'all can check out Eat, Pray, Live with some older demographic hosts that did not agree with me at all.
Oh,
with
really?
The article. It was a fairly heated conversation.
They were upset.
They were upset. They really felt like she was disrespecting the organization and that there's more than one way to skin a cat, and how dare she say they need to step aside. And I didn't feel like the article was that one-sided. If you actually go to the New York Times and read the article, the people that criticize it, there's an article in the Huffington Post, and I think there's one.
Don't read blurbs.
I mean, they gave fair assessments. Don't get me wrong; their perspectives were interesting and rooted in things, but it was their perception of what she said. I personally didn't interpret what she said that way in the actual article, and I just think that she
has strong points.
She has a strong point, and some of it hurts, but the reality is some of it's true.
Truth hurts.
And I personally stood on the side that the NAACP is an amazing organization that has been around all this time and has financial backing to do stuff, and I don't think they're not nearly as effective as they could be because they are an old organization that is so deeply rooted in what the bureaucracy of NAACP has become.
Right.
And that's hard to overcome, but I think that a lot of people miss her last quote about what they're doing in terms of picking a new president. She made the quote that said they need to search for a new president not in the highest places but rather in the lowest. And she went into sort of questioning, like, maybe the new president should be a trans black woman. Maybe the new president should be a former inmate, a federal criminal that has come out and has a perspective on what that system has been like for his life or her life or whatever. So I think that she was just challenging them in that article, not saying you ain't shit, step aside. That is an option. You could decide you want to be this, legacy organization and just step aside and be the person that we always praise because you were amazing and you did amazing things. But I just don't, whatever.
But it's like anything, the way I guess what it is, the way I took it as what she's saying, with everything else, everything evolves, everything changes.
Yeah.
And NAACP has done some amazing things, obviously, but there's also a change factor of just the way that the world is now that I think still needs to be implemented in what they do in the communities.
Yeah.
I mean, like that young man that we had talked about, I forgot his name, he's from Detroit, he's maybe like 21, who was he's
congressman.
Like someone like that, I'm looking, like the next future, the next round, like someone like that getting involved, a trans person getting involved. Or I even like the convict, someone who's changed their life around and can give a different perspective, because I think it's just like everything else. It's like business. The old way of thinking is not the relevancy of today anymore.
Yeah.
So that has to change. And I felt that's what she was saying. And yes, that's going to piss people off because people are going to be like, hey, we've been doing this for years. The formulas work. Who are you to come in here who you're not even involved with it to try and change this up?
Yeah.
But
agreed.
Yeah, man.
But good luck.
Good luck. Good luck.
I'm not a member, so I can't really say.
Maybe we should be Black Hollywood Live NAACP.
I mean, I would just love to see them do, and I get it's bothersome because they always want to be like.
Listen, I was about to make a joke. I was like, is it too soon? I was about to be like, listen, if Rachel can do it, Jesse, you definitely can be in the NAACP. You can be the president, all right?
Boy.
Anyway, good luck, NAACP. We love you.
We love you. Thank you.
Keep doing the good work.
We're just joking.
We just need you to do some more work.
Yes.
Some harder work.
Change is good.
Change is always good.
All right. Did you do 2 stories?
I did. We tried to get through it so you could get to your show.
I'm going to see All Eyes on Me tonight because I'm interviewing the cast on Monday, so they're making
so good.
I'm really looking forward to it. All right. So, speaking of some more controversy that's been going on, were you guys a fan of Underground that was on WGN America? Were you watching it? Did you watch?
Of course, I was watching.
I know you were watching.
I was not.
Okay. I didn't watch all the episodes, but I have watched it. Well, unfortunately, as of this week, it was announced that the show is being canceled after 2 seasons. And a lot of people and fans are in an uproar because they're like, the numbers are good. There's no logical reason why you guys are cutting the show.
WGN is rebranding, dude.
It's rebranding. So basically, if you don't know about the show or have heard a little bit about it, it's a drama about a group of runaway slaves fighting for freedom along the Underground Railroad, and it's created. Its cast, includes Journey. Is it Smollett? Smollett Bell, Aldous Hodge, Alano Miller, Chris Maloney, Mark Blucas, and Reed Diamond, who have all done a great job as the cast. And so they actually went out, and some of the cast members were telling people to tweet, the fans to tweet and really get involved and really, ask for the show to come back for a 3rd season. Now, the reason for the cancellation is earlier this month, Sinclair Broadcast Group agreed to buy WGN's parent company, which is Tribune Media, for an estimated $3.9 billion deal. As reported by Variety, the move means big changes for the network's original programming. Chris Ripley, the CEO of Sinclair, has said that WGN's ratings did not justify the cost of the program, and it is not part of their new direction. So,
word is WGN is about to be the new Fox News.
That is the rumor.
That's what the rumor on the street is.
That is what I heard on the street.
So Underground definitely don't fit in alignment with that.
Direction.
It don't fit with that at all.
But I think what's really cool is that we live in a generation where now I've been seeing on Twitter the hashtag for Netflix to pick up Underground.
Yes,
seen that hashtag.
they want Netflix. What is it? Underground on Netflix, I think, is the hashtag, and people are posting that. But I think from the business perspective, that's not really an option because, from what I understand, their streaming rights have already been sold to Hulu.
Yes.
Well, so then that's where I was going to come in. Now, Hulu's doing this live TV, competing with YouTube TV, and if Hulu wants to really pick it up in this game, because to me, I'll never count Hulu out because I do enjoy Hulu.
I love Hulu.
But there's things like with certain things, like I like my YouTube live TV better. I like that Netflix has, to me personally, more better original content.
Well, that's been Hulu's sort of like fight right now. They thought Handmaid's Tale is going to be their like staple, I like actually
the Harlot one.
Critically, it's brilliant. Like it's a really great show if you haven't watched it. Harlot I like too, but I don't think it's gonna whatever. Handmaid's Tale kind of has gotten the ear much more. Yeah. It's real dark. I was watching this week. I was like,
but Underground
could set them over. So but budget wise, it is an expensive show to produce. I don't know if it really fits in their budget abilities, but it would be lovely to see them make it happen. I tweeted at Sony Pictures to find a home. I know John Legend has been working on it because he's one of the producers, but it is probably one of the best. That whole argument we always have about, do we really need another slave movie show? Like blah blah.
About that.
It is so good, and all I can say is the woman that was supposed to be here, I'm depressed. Her name is Aisha Hines. She is on that show and she plays Harriet Tubman, and she did an entire episode by herself. That was a 45-minute monologue, and she held the attention of television for 45 minutes by herself.
Really?
And anybody that can do that, and a show that can write that, deserves to be on television. So I mean, they got to give us at least another two. Nashville made it back to TV, damn it. Why can't Underground?
Because they got the Country Music Network. They ain't got.
Though I'm not mad because Nashville will be back again.
I'm excited.
Even though people was mad.
So they took it off NBC or
Oh yeah,
NBC
Country Music. CMT bought it, but then they had to deal with Hulu, so it's on Hulu also.
Okay.
And it's like live. And then Raina died because she only signed on for 10 episodes, but they're still coming back. They're coming back next week.
But Raina.
But anyway,
sorry.
That being said, if Raina can die, and Nashville can stay, then by damn it, Harriet Tubman should be on television on Hulu, okay?
Hey, what's up, BT and TV1?
Yeah, where y'all at?
Where y'all at right now?
I think it's because they don't really have a good financial stake in it since they can't sell the streaming rights anymore. Like, I don't really know how all that money works out, but I think that's part of why people are kind of like, it's not really that financially good for it. But whoever takes it, like, it was doing really well, but it was on WGN. If it's on something that people actually watch, it might even do better.
Yeah,
and it was so good.
Outside of that show, it took me a while to even know where WGN was on my cable. I was trying to.
The only reason I knew is because growing up,
couldn't even throw a dart at it.
That was like one of them Atlanta stations because it started with Turner or something.
Turner,
I feel like that's kind of why I always knew it was around. But I wouldn't find it on a regular TV right now.
Yeah.
I just found it on Hulu and other places.
YouTube don't have that one.
It don't. No. But Hulu, we ain't gonna talk. Anyway, Underground come back.
We'll see. I feel like it's gonna find another home for.
I hope it does.
I feel like it will.
I'm worried it won't.
Yeah,
because it's an expensive show.
It is, but I think if they create enough, buzz with the fan appeal, I think it could.
Well, all y'all shady asses up here talking about y'all ain't watched it. Y'all need to start tweeting.
All right, I'll tweet too. All right, you're right.
Jesse's like, I'm just being real. I wasn't watching the slate.
Well, nope, I just don't have cable. So.
It's on my DVR.
You don't need cable.
You don't need cable.
What do you need?
It's WGN. That ain't cable.
You can get that online.
Yeah, you should be able to. Yeah. You can look at old episodes anyway online.
Yeah.
Regardless.
I mean, they're on Hulu.
They're on Hulu. Yeah.
See, YouTube.
He said,
"You had Hulu."
YouTube TV.
He's like,
I haven't been in Netflix.
I don't have it.
You had Hulu like last year when the first season came out.
Last year, girl. That was when I was doing my Ratchet shows. I was tainted by Mona Scott.
All right, you were tainted. Well, speaking of somebody else who's sort of tainted, or some people think they might be tainted, but I don't think so, is legendary MC. We finally got the music.
Pull it in.
That's right, because I didn't really do my ER Web Story Spotlight music, so this could be my, my theme. All right. This used to be my joint too. This killed it. The video was great.
This concert though.
Are you going?
I want to.
So we just have a little Nas.
We're just gonna show up like an hour late.
I'm not. Well, see, that's the thing. I gave up on Lauryn Hill in 2008.
Playing that song.
But this might make me go back out and try to get her again.
Because this is gonna be like a contract. Now it's gonna be involved. It's like, girl, you need to show up.
Okay, well, there's two parts of the story where you guys already started. You jumped. So we got Nas and Lauryn Hill who have announced that they are going on a tour that is starting September 7th for North America.
They're in LA on October 15th.
Tickets go on sale on June 2nd, and they actually are urging people to go get your tickets the minute that they go on sale.
That's around my birthday. Someone buy me a ticket and I'll go with you.
Well, also card holders like American Express were able to buy tickets early.
Yeah, of course they are, and then they
like
sell out, and then you can't get them.
And you're not going to be able to get them. So I'm down to go to that concert.
I want to go. It's at the Hollywood Bowl.
Lauren just recently performed.
Yes,
it's at the Hollywood Bowl.
It's at the Hollywood Bowl on the 15th of October.
I've never
sell
been
with
to
the
the
quickness.
Hollywood Bowl.
You've never been to the Hollywood Bowl? Oh, and that's a show that you want to go.
Yes.
Lauryn Hill will have me pissing my pants like.
We gotta go.
Yes, so they were in the news. Nas was in the news for that, that in particular, but also he was in the news because of an open letter that he put out there, and it was in reference to racism, and it also targeted Donald Trump, we just keep talking about Donald Trump.
We do, honey.
Man,
running the country.
I mean, if you keep talking about,
I don't even know if we talked about.
But the funny thing is, I don't even know if we talked about Obama this much on the show versus Trump.
Not in a negative way.
Yeah,
not in a negative way.
But we talked about his stuff.
But I mean, it's funny because I really tried to stay away from Trump, and like I was like, for sure, I was like, I'm not putting Kavafifi on here.
Oh, I didn't even put that in my suggestions.
Nope. Well, okay, so you can go online and find the full letter because it's pretty long, this open letter. But basically, this is just in a nutshell. This is the section that Nas wrote about Trump. He said, "For me, it doesn't make any sense. We all know a racist is in the office. People can talk their about comedians. Comedians can sound racist. People can go through their moments of that shit. But when they have the responsibility of being president and you can carry on like that, you send a strong message to people outside of your group that they ain't worth shh." And so the letter was actually also in reference to a variety of different topics, including finding peace as a black man. He wrote about cop violence. He talked about O.J. Simpson. He talked about mental health. He talked about Obama. He gave Obama praise in the letter. So you definitely should go read the entire thing if you haven't. But basically, he's been getting a little bit of slack because he went after Trump from the Trump supporters, of course. But you know what?
Nothing but kudos
Nas,
from you,
that's what I was going to say. Nas doing what he does, being the poetic genius in his writing that he is. When you read this entire letter, it puts a lot of things in perspective, and it's magical the way that he wrote it. He almost wrote it like lyrics.
He did.
That's what I felt like.
Yes, he did. That's why he's coming back.
You should check that out. That's why I'm going to go.
I'm excited to hear
Still
Nicki
fine.
Minaj's next album.
Nobody cares.
No, that was
Nas
a
is
shady
still
joke.
fine.
That was a shady joke.
I know,
right
that's
there.
what I said. Nobody cares.
Are they doing a duet together since they're dating?
She's allegedly they're dating.
But I mean, I know that, but are they going to do a song together?
Well, no. The joke was that he's gonna be ghostwriting for her because she usually dates guys that.
We'll write for her.
That would probably be to her.
Oh, did you see the
But
Wendy
it's
shade?
interesting to me too here because like Wendy said that she couldn't really see them together, and then for Nas as such a hip hop legend, for him to be dating Nicki Minaj, it is interesting on a hip hop level of like you gonna sit up here and you do tell your girlfriend like, yeah, you the queen of rap, girl.
No.
Them lyrics.
Listen, let's just be honest. He's
looking at all that booty. Like, that's what he's still a man.
Conversation. It was
He's
about the
still a
booty.
man.
I mean, he dated Khalees. I mean, I would have never seen
That's a
him and
natural
Khalees
booty
together.
to a fake
Actually,
booty.
you know what I mean? I would have never seen him and Khalees together because she's so edgy, kind of.
But that mean they probably had them conversations that's like deep.
I'm sure. I'm sure. It's like, yeah, sure. There's a lot.
I don't know. I mean, Nicki might have a good conversation too. We just judge her based on the image that she puts out, which could just be like Sasha Fierce. It's just an image.
That's true.
It's
There
the
was a
image that sold
documentary actually that was
records.
on MTV. It was several years ago that they followed Nicki Minaj, and I actually was impressed with her because it was about her with her family.
Yeah,
and it actually made me like her because she is very intelligent. Obviously, she can't go this far without being smart as hell. But she even just the persona what's on stage is not the persona when she's with her family, and I appreciate that about her.
But when we come to Nas, it's
Smart
one of
and
them things.
educated.
It's like the realest real. It's the realest real. So you want him to be with the realest real.
Maybe she's
Like,
teaching Nas some things.
Maybe.
She
had him
probably is. How
think
to
about
spin around, flip upside down, and do all kind of stuff.
He's
But,
gonna be singing
always
to
take
their,
to the nasty.
singing to their baby. Hip hop is dead.
It would be an interesting collaboration with them musically, though. I'd have to hear.
I would actually listen.
I would listen to it.
I mean, clearly it would be over every blog, but I mean, I don't know. It'd be so weird.
It'd be weird, but but I'd be interested to hear what it sounded like though, because he has such a specific sound, and so does she.
But it might bring actually her like that mixtape.
I was gonna say she used to have the mixtape life. Like, you know,
I'm not mad at it.
She could do some things.
Cookie up.
It's gonna happen.
All right, I'm with it.
It's gonna happen.
Oh.
All right, that's all I got.
Something happening. All right, you gotta get
Courtney,
it.
where's fans gonna be able to find you?
Fans will be able to find me. That's so weird to say. Whatever. I'm
Or
everywhere
people who
on.
like you or want to hear your opinion.
I'm all over social media at Stuart Starlet.
If you guys want to be my friend, you guys can hit me up at DJ Jesse J.
And if you want to be my friend, you can hit me at Derrial Christon on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. All right, everybody have a great weekend. Welcome to June.
Oh, God.
I just felt like we had the weekend. I'm so excited. It's the weekend.
Well,
It's
the
again.
short week, Memorial Weekend. We had, then we had the short week. All right, well, I hope everybody has a great and safe weekend, and we'll
Please
see you
do.
next week.
Bye.
Peace.
From executives Keven Undergaro, Derrial Christon, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio, Instagram at KingXOBay. Thanks for
Do
tuning in.
y'all have Venmo?
Hollywood redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.